Chairete pantes. We are joined once again by my 3-month-old son, Ezekiel. In this lesson, we're going to learn av, ev, and oo. These two middle ones are the same. You could call these diphthongs, except the last one's not really a diphthong. You could definitely call them all digraphs. And we will learn the letters O, P, R, S, T, and U. Can you hear my son snoring? Av, av, av. In an earlier form of Greek, this would be au. In a later form of Greek, it's av. So this is a transitional sound. Av. Avto means it. Avto. Avto. A viewer in a previous video of mine objected that Lucian can't possibly have a pitch accent if ab has become sort of a consonant sound here. But I would say a voice consonant can carry a pitch. You can go, oh, it can carry a pitch. So just as long as it doesn't become completely voiceless, it doesn't technically require the pitch accent system to completely self-destruct at that point. Bit of a side note. But anyway, for now, for our purposes now, this is av and this is avto. This is ev, and it sounds the same with the long eta sound and the short epsilon sound because those two sounds have merged in Lucian Koine. So ev and ev are the same sound, different spellings. Evlogia, evlogia. Evlogia is good speech or a eulogy, fine speech or a eulogy, because ev is like good. This one, meaning having the same sound, ev, an example is helvreka. Remember that rough breathing mark. Helvreka, helvreka, helvreka. Helvreka means I've found it. I have found. And it's our English word, eureka. Eureka is I've found the solution. Eureka. This last digraph is oo. Oo. Not a diphthong in any sense. It's oo. You know, like it's not two vowel sounds mushed together. It's just a long oo sound. Uranos. Uranos. Uranos means the heavens, like sky or the heaven. And we get our word Uranus from it. So let's practice saying these. Av. Av. An. An. Remember that's a ni, and ni is an N sound. An. In. In. Ev. 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 In an earlier form of Greek, this would be ew. Ew. But this is ev with a slight v in it. On. On. Ooh. Ooh. Ew. Ew. En. En. Now we'll learn those letters. O is for ophthalmos. Ophthalmos means eye. Ophthalmologist is a person who studies eyes or something, or helps you with your eyes. Ophthalmos. The name of this letter is omicron. Omicron. It makes a short O sound. There will be a long O sound at the end of the alphabet. O. O. Ophthalmos. Ophthalmos. B is for pur. Pur is fire. The name of this letter is B. B. It makes a P sound, a little bit like the English P, which makes a P sound, which is an aspirated P. But this one just makes a P sound. B. Bur. If you put your fingers in front of your mouth while you say bur, you shouldn't feel a puff of air. Bur. Bur. But obviously you can remember this because the mathematical symbol pi is P, the letter P. Bur. Bur. We get our word pyre from this. A pyre is a funeral custom where you make a fire to cremate someone's body. R is for rodon. Rodon. A rodon is a rose. That's a rose. The name of the letter is ro. Ro. Or ro in English. It's a breathy trill when it's initial or when it's geminated. So a double letter ro is a breathy trill. Between vowels, it's a tap between vowels. Like in the next word, salvros, salvros. There's a tap between there. And it's a r trill everywhere else. Any other kind of situation will be a r trill. Rodon. R. R. Rodon. 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 That sort of breathiness to it is the reason why it's got a rough breathing mark written on top of it. When it's the first letter in a word, the ro will always have a rough breathing mark on it because it has that breathy sound. And in Latin transcriptions, in English transcriptions, it will have RH, and that's why it's got the H sound there. Rodon. Now we get our word rhododendron from this. S is for saurus. Saurus is lizard, like all those dinosaur names. Dinos and saurus together mean terrible lizard. Saurus means lizard. Alternate form of saura. Saura, which is also lizard. The name of this letter is sigma. Sigma. And it makes a s sound, a retracted S sound. Kind of halfway between s and sh is s. It's retracted slightly halfway between S and SH. Saurus. Because ancient Greek has no sh sound. No distinction, I should say, between S and SH. This one is sort of in the middle between. It has 3 forms. The capital letter sigma. Actually, it has 4 forms. I lied. There's this one, which is used as a lowercase letter in most circumstances. And it looks like an O with a continuing line. And then there's this one that looks like an S. And that's at the end of a word. So in the word saurus, I chose that form because it has the S at the end, the sigma at the end. So saurus starts with a sigma and ends with a sigma. The last sigma in a word will look like this kind of trailing off letter. Has no difference in its sound, just looks different in its shape. And I should say it has a 4th shape, which is the lunate sigma, which looks exactly like the letter C. Or like this part of the O and this part of the S, and it's used as in any circumstance. Like you can see it in inscriptions on the ends of words, in the middle of word, at the start of words. There's a capital lunate sigma form in the uncial script. So yeah, that's C looking letter. If you ever see that that's a form of sigma. But in modern typography, we don't use lunate sigma anymore, so we use these three forms: capital sigma, and then two lowercase forms, one for the end of words. Salvros. Salvros. T is for Tauvros. Tauvros. Tauvros is a bull. This one was copied from one of those Mycenaean bull pictures. And Tauvros gives us Taurus, the Pokemon that's like a bull. Or you could think of Taurus, the star sign, which is from the Latin Taurus, Tauvros. It starts with the letter tau, tau, and it makes a t sound. T sounds a lot like the English t, except that English t is aspirated. You would feel a puff of air if you said Taurus in English, but Taurus does not have a puff of air. If you put your fingers in front of your mouth and you say Taurus, Taurus, then you won't feel a puff of air there. Taurus. Duh. Duh. That's my little baby making sounds. Duh. Taurus. Taurus. E is for Hudor. Hudor means water. Hudor, like hydroelectricity. Hydropower. The H part is that breathing symbol there. The letter name for this symbol is Epsilon. And it makes two sounds, E and E. It could make a long sound or a short sound, E or E. E. A tip for making this sound, E, is if you make an E sound, like easy peasy, E sound, you kind of smile with your lips parted like E. But when you make an U sound, you have your lips forward in a kiss, like E, like a fish, E. And you can kind of slide between E and U by going ew, ew, ew with your lips. Just change the position of your lips. U. In modern Greek, this is an E sound, but in Lucian Koine, it's an U sound. U. Not oo, not oo, not oo. There is a way to write oo, oo, oo. This is not it. It's E. E. Oh yes, if you want to have it really clear that this is a long U sound, it will have a macron. A lot of texts don't print macrons, but that's a way to know if your text prints macrons. It's the U versus U. 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 Hudor. Hudor. We're going to have a lot of syllables now to pronounce, to practice. Ba. Ba. Be. 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 Bi. Bi. Bo. Bo. Bi. Bi. You can tell that these are the start of words because they have the rough breathing. Ra. Ra. Re. 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 These ones I'm making in the middle of words, and it's going to be a bit of a tap or a trill, something like that. Let's say this is a tap, this is a preceding vowel. Ri. Ri. Ro. Ro. Ri. Ri. One way I remember that rho is not a P, because it looks like a P in English, but it's a rho, it's a r sound, is like, what if you had an R and you drew it out like that, but you just kept extending that lowercase r's little curly thing until it joined itself? That would be a rho. And now we have the sigma. Sa, sa, se, 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 si, si, so, so, si, si, da, da. Remember, it's not aspirated ta, but ta, ta, de, 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 di, di, do, do, du, du, ro, ro, bo, bo, su, su, du, du, da, da, das, das. This sigma is the end form sigma, the final form sigma, final sigma. Das, bas, bas, shin, shin. I've got to give you lots of practice with the nu because it looks like a V. Shin, and it makes a n sound. Shish, shish. Here are some words we can know from the letters that we've learnt. Polis is a city. We get our word political from it, politics. Yine is a woman. We get our word gynecology from it. Yine. Dibos, an imprint or character. Type, as in character type, a type, a typical thing. Typos. Comma, a clause, is a grammatical term. Comma. Whenever you have a doubled letter, it counts as two letters. As opposed to comma, it's comma. Comma. It adds to the rhythm of that word. Helvreka. Helvreka. I found it. Eureka. Uranos. Uranos is the sky, like Uranus. Diametros. Diametros is a measure through the middle, the diameter of a circle. Diametros. Dialectos. Dialectos is speech or language, a dialect. These are the words from previous letters that we can now say we know all the letters in them. Vasileus. Vasileus is king. Ethnos. Oh, wait. It's missing an accent there for whatever reason. Ethnos. Hemera. Hemera. Thronos. Thronos. Hippos. Hippos. Gardia. Gardia. Meter. Meter. Nix. Nix. Xylon. Xylon. Bur. Bur. Rodon. Rodon. Salvros. Salvros. Dalvros. Dalvros. Well, that is all for today. Make sure you practice your lesson with flashcards. There's 56 of them. Wow. and it's got all the syllables, and it has my voice and sound with that. So check the link in the description, and I'll say eroste.